Hi everyone, my name is Chen Guo, and today I'm going to present my redesign project focused on improving the usability and safety of a common household product, the oven control panel. This is a product I frequently uses in my daily life, and I observed in use at home, especially by my mom. And I've noticed several issues that make the user experience focusing and even confusing and even unsafe. In this redesign, my goal is to simplify the operation process and reduce the risk of misuse. The direct stakeholders of this product are home users, particularly elderly users like my mom who regularly use the oven for daily cooking. Indirect stakeholders include other family members who may be affected by the cooking process or safety hazards, as well as the oven manufacturers whose brand reputation depends on user satisfaction. To better understand the problem, I observed my mom's experience when using the oven and also reviewed online feedback from other users. The main motivation for using the oven is to easily and safely heat or bake food. However, several pain points became very clear. First, the control panel is too complex, with too many unclear buttons and symbols. My mom often didn't know how to start the oven after selecting the temperature or whether the oven was preheating or heating. Second, the oven lacks an automatic shut-off function. If the user forgets to turn it off, it could lead to serious safety issues like overheating or even fire hazards. Third, there's no clear feedback on the current status of the oven, which causes uncertainty and frustration during use. After analyzing the product, I identified two major usability problems. The first issue is the unclear operation flow. The panel lacks proper signifiers and mapping, meaning that the relationship between actions and their results is not intuitive. For example, even after setting the temperature, users don't know which button starts the oven or whether the oven is actually running. The second issue is the absence of automatic shut-off and feedback. There's no constraints to prevent the user from forgetting to turn off the oven, and there's no proper feedback about whether the oven is preheating, heating, or finished. These problems increase the risk of errors and make the oven less accessible, especially for older users. So here's my first design solution, a simplified and more intuitive control panel. The operation is broken down into the three clear steps. First, select the cooking mode such as a bake, boil, or timer. Second, adjust the temperature using the plus and the minus button. Third, press the clearly labeled start or preheat button to begin. The panel includes a digital display that shows the current status in real time. For example, preheating, heating in 180 or 20 minutes remaining. The design uses clear labels, icons, and feedback to improve signifiers and mapping, helping users understand what's happening at every stage. Also, I add an instruction for use on the panel to help the user better use this. The second solution focuses on improving safety. I added a built-in timer function that allows user to set how long the oven should operate before automatically shutting off. Once the time is up, the oven will turn off by itself, preventing any risk of overheating. In addition, there's a loud beeping sound after a flashing light, as a reminder when the cooking is complete. The oven will continue this alerts until the user presses any button on the panel. This solution uses feedback and constraints to help ensure that the oven is never accidentally left on, making the product much safer for users. In designing the solution, I made several assumptions. I assumed that users would understand basic icons such as a flame symbol or for heat, a clock for the timer, and an arrow for start. I also assume that users are able to read short text instructions in either English or other languages. However, there are some limitations. Older ovens models may not support those design changes, and adding a digital display and alert system could slightly increase the manufacturing cost. As an alternative idea, the system could also be paired with a smartphone app or for additional control, but this may not be suitable for elderly users who are less comfortable with the digital technology.